Or
My apologies, Chair. I thought you were referring to a different person. No, yeah,
no.
no.
I'm talking about
No.
what the brigadier said right at the end.
No, Chair.
So,
That can't be
so
mentioned.
I steer clear of that one.
Yes, Chair.
Thank you. That's why I wanted to find out from you. Please forget my question then, Brigadier.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I thought you were referring to the captain whose name he didn't mention but appears in his statement. That's what my apologies.
All right, no problem.
Brigadier, is there anything else you want to say before we move on to your questions?
No, Commissioners.
Can I just ask a question to the evidence leaders? Brigadier appeared to be reading from a document we do not have. Can you just clarify what the position is? Is that part of his statement, or how do we deal with it as the Commission?
He's read it into the record, but it's not part of his statement. It was initially in his statement. It was taken out. He asked for it to be reintroduced, but by the time it was, his statement had already been signed by him. He only noticed after signing that it wasn't in his statement. So we'll just prepare a short supplementary to include that portion.
That's in order. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Brigadier, I just want to find out from you what happened on the 22nd of June 2021. We know now that when Warrant Officer Mpangase contacts you that morning, you are not his immediate superior. He's bypassed his superior to inform you of the operation that he's going to attend. And in that conversation, he tells you that he's going with Lieutenant Colonel Jacob. Is that correct?
That's correct, Commissioners.
Okay. At that stage, do you give any instructions to them? Are you asked to authorize Lieutenant Colonel Jacob's attendance at the scene? What is the conversation between you and Warrant Officer Mpangase?
If my recollection serves me correctly, I did not give any instruction. I accepted what they were telling me, and I was waiting for the outcome of the investigation.
I'm asking because you will recall that as part of the theft investigation, you had submitted witness statements to the investigating officers at the time. Do you recall that?
I do recall, Commissioners.
If I could ask you to go to, there's an exhibit bundle file in front of you. If you can go to exhibit CJC 197.4, and I think it is, in fact, if you can rather go to 597, that's page 597 of the exhibit bundle.
What's written on the spine?
It says Port Shepstone exhibit bundle, Chair. It should be the first bundle. I'm working from the electronic version, so I'm not sure in hard copy if it's the first or the second exhibit bundle. CJC 243. It's file 2, exhibit bundle, file 2.
File 2.
Yes. Do you have it? It's page 597 of that bundle.
Yes, Commissioners.
It's a statement by you.
Yes, it was a further statement.
Yes. And if we go to 598, we'll see that it was deposed to on the 10th of May 2022.
Yes, Commissioners.
Okay. Now, you say at 597, on the 11th of April 2022, I had a meeting with Colonel Mojela. My initial statement that I submitted on the house-breaking matter at Port Shepstone serious organized crime officers. Colonel Mojela requested that I give a further statement clarifying the following. Communication between myself, Colonel Jacob, and Warrant Officer Mpangase on the day of the seizure. I want you to skip the 1, 2, 3 bullet points. The sentence immediately after the third bullet where it says, who was the unit commander in, do you see that bullet? Who was the unit commander in Durban, serious organized crime?
Okay.
Then it says Colonel Mhlongo was the acting unit commander. The next bullet says Colonel Jacob was called back from leave. Do you see that topic?
Yes, sir.
When Warrant Officer Mpangase called me in the morning about the information, he told me that crime intelligence wanted Colonel Jacob to handle the matter because of trust issues. I then authorized Colonel Jacob to resume his duties, especially for the said operation, as he was on leave. Do you recall making that statement?
I recall making this statement.
Yes. Now, in your statement and before the commission, you don't give that much detail. You just say on page 9 of your statement, in fact, you deal with the call with the Warrant Officer Mpangase at paragraph 26 on page 8. And you just say, I was on duty when I received a call from Warrant Officer Mpangase. He reported to Colonel Jacob, who was the SANAP team leader at the time. Warrant Officer Mpangase informed me that he was contacted by crime intelligence regarding suspected drugs in a container at Isipingo. He told me that he was attending the operation with Colonel Jacob and Warrant Officer Sabia, who was at EPR. Now, you don't say here that you authorized Colonel Jacob to come from leave in order to attend to this. So can you just clarify what happened in fact?
Thank you. This was a further statement because they wanted further clarity as to why Colonel Jacob. And then I remember that he was on leave. Because when I submitted my initial statement, that was not in my mind. And then when they asked me questions, it is then that I remembered that he was on leave, not that I wanted to hide anything. And I think in his statement too, he has put that he was on leave and he came back.
Yes, but your statement to the commission, that's what I'm trying to establish. In that statement, you don't say that. So I just want to understand whether you were in fact told by Warrant Officer Mpangase that crime intelligence officer that contacted specifically wanted Colonel Jacob on this operation.
No, they did. Mpangase did tell me that.
Okay, he did tell you that that is what crime intelligence had requested specifically.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I can also add to that, these operational officers, they tend to have certain people they want to work with, the crime intelligence handlers, as well as the investigators. You will see that in most cases, there is a Colonel Bucas from crime intelligence. He will always ask for Carl. And the others, I think it's a trust issue.
Okay, so there was nothing untoward about that request when Warrant Officer Mpangase told you about it?
No, I did not see anything untoward.
And you weren't aware that Colonel Jacob was on leave at the time until Warrant Officer Mpangase told you?
At my level, I only signed for the unit commanders.
Okay, so insofar as then approving for him to go on to the operation to come back from leave, wouldn't his unit commander also have to be involved in that decision-making?
I have explained the difficulties we had with the current commander. Hence, it looked like we were not regarding her because he was not aware of the operational issues.
Okay. But when it is told to you that somebody specific is asking for Lieutenant Colonel Jacob to be taken from leave, put on this operation specifically, you didn't see the need at that stage to just inform the unit commander that I have authorized this, that he may go on to the operation?
Commissioners, I did not do it. I think it's an oversight on my side, and I agree I should have informed the colonel.
Because it's the same complaint that you have about General Sonona going over your head directly to your members without informing you, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you ask anything insofar or make any inquiries as to why they were sending Sabia with them? I think it was the captain at that stage.
I think it was a warrant officer.
Yes, a warrant officer.
No, I did not probe it because normally when we attend crime scene, we include many people. Also people from different sections, also different departments as well.
Okay.
That will be your custom, that will be your harbor policing, crime intelligence.
Okay. What I'm trying to establish is that you get told that it's Warrant Officer Mpangase going with Lieutenant Colonel Jacob. He is not the most senior person that's contacting you. One would assume that Colonel Jacob would contact you and say to you, ask to be put back on to be taken off leave and be authorized to go on to the project, but that doesn't happen. Then you have somebody like Warrant Officer Sevilla who doesn't have any experience, I'm assuming at that stage, in drug bust because he's in EPR, correct? He's at the human trafficking section.
The economic protected resources.
Yes. So he's on that. So that doesn't have anything to do with SANAP, or is there do they overlap in certain instances?
I did not see that as a concern to me because he had to learn. Because now he's with SANAP anyway.
Our understanding of the evidence is what do you mean he was with SANAP? EPR is in SANAP.
No, ma'am. Remember, I've testified to say serious organized crime has got 3 sections. There's NPVC, which deals with serious and violent crime cases. There's SANAP, which deals with drugs. And there's also EPR. Now, for them to attend the crime scene and see how the other sections are working, it helps them because when they are promotional posts, a person does not apply within his line of work. They will apply on all these 3 sections.
Yes. Now, I was just clarifying when you say he's with SANAP, as if suggesting that at the time that he was asked to join this, or when he was called in to join this operation, he was a member of SANAP at that point. I just wanted to clarify he was not SANAP at the time.
No, he was with EPR.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Commissioners.
Okay. And you then say that you received a call later on from Lieutenant Colonel Jacob. When he called you, was he at the scene, at the crime scene, so at the CHC depot, or was he already at Isipingo police station?
The first call I received from Colonel Jacob to me, because I wasn't there, he was at the crime scene reporting the discovery.
Okay, and you then say you're going to he must keep you updated, and then you receive another call from him. The first call that you received, do you recall more or less what time you had received it?
It was early in the morning. I can't be specific with time.
Okay. And at that stage, did he mention anything about having contacted FSL to come to the crime scene to assist them with anything?
No.
Okay. When you speak to him again, that is now when he's at the police station. Is that the next time when you speak to him, when he's at the Isipingo police station?
Yes.
When he's at the Isipingo police station, he then tells you that they are there and they're encountering problems with getting the exhibits. I suppose it was that they're struggling to get it to be stored there, or what was his complaint?
They were not allowing him to hand in the exhibit because
Okay.
it was safety concern.
When you say safety concern, what do you mean?
That's what he told me. And that also they did not have a storage for the amount of exhibit that they were having.
And he said that's what he gets told when he's at Isipingo.
Yes.
Okay. But you say in your statement, he tells you that he has exhausted all avenues.
Yes.
Is that in the same conversation?
In the same conversation. Then I assume that he would have spoken to all the nearest police stations.
That was an assumption that you made, but you didn't actually ask him what he meant by that.
No, I did not.
Okay. So what then makes...
Remember, sorry, evidence leader and commissioners. I regard Colonel Jacob as a very experienced person. And his section has discovered this type of drugs. So when he brings this to me, I assume that he has done all the necessary steps to ensure that he contacted me, because from my experience, it was the first time I'm being told that there was no space in the police station. I knew that some police station will not have space, and then you will go to the next police station and ask if they can accommodate the exhibits. So when he said he has exhausted all the avenues, to me, it told me that he has done everything.
You say it's the first time that you have heard that there's no space at all the police stations. Did I hear you correctly?
It's not the first time. Maybe it's me putting it that it was the first time I'm approached as the provincial commander, because members will, on their own, try and get spaces and report back to us, to me, or to the management. They say, we couldn't get a space here, but we put exhibit here.
Okay. So why do you, at that stage, then contact FSL after you've spoken to him?
Because I wanted them to rescue us, to take the exhibits.
Okay. Would you not have thought that when he said he's exhausted all avenues, that would have included FSL, that he contacted FSL and FSL also said that they can't assist?
It never came into my mind, hence I called him.
Okay. And did he tell you that he had also called FSL?
No.
And he didn't?
No.
So when you call FSL, you have no knowledge that he had previously called or earlier that day called FSL?
No, if my recollection serves me correct, no.
Okay. Now, I wanted to just take you to clarify the time issue, because it is important. If you go to the consolidated statement file, there should be a file that says consolidated statement. It's section 2. And it's the statement of Lieutenant Colonel Prinsloo. Somebody will assist you. It's page 14, 14 of section 2. Do you have it?
Yes, sir.
It's paragraph 40, page 14, paragraph E, arrival of the exhibits at the DPCI office on 22 June 2021. Do you have it?
Yes.
Okay. At paragraph 44, this is what Lieutenant Colonel Prince said. On 22 June 2021, at between 10 and 11 in the morning, I received a telephone call from Brigadier Nuswa. He informed me that the provincial tracing team had seized a large quantity of drugs, cocaine, from a container. He instructed me to make storage available at our offices. Now, if Colonel Prinsloo's time is correct, that you told him at 10 or 11 o'clock, then it means that if you instructed him at 10 and 11 o'clock to already get the premises ready, then Colonel Jacob would have told you earlier that he had exhausted all avenues, and you would have then come up with this plan to go to Port Shepstone.
I disagree, Commissioners. I think the timeline of Colonel Prince here is wrong. Also, what is also incorrect here, I never communicated that the tracking team, because Jacob is not from the tracing team.
Okay, and you will recall that when I consulted with you, I did highlight this to you because it would mean that there was never a conversation with Colonel Jacob about Isipingo not wanting to assist them. It was always the intention that the exhibits were going to go to Port Shepstone, because if at 10 o'clock that arrangement is already made, then everything that follows after that is just staged to explain why it eventually goes to Port Shepstone.
Commissioners, Jacob called me from Isipingo. It was after noon, maybe from 12 onwards. I'm saying this timeline of Colonel Prinsloo is wrong.
Okay. I accept that he can be wrong. I just, of course, do need to put it to you. What we do know is that Colonel Jacob called you twice, though. It's not just the one time when he's at Isipingo. He does call you the morning of the 22nd of June, when he's at the scene, as you earlier said.
Yes.
Okay. But you're saying that you couldn't have called Prinsloo at 10 or 11 o'clock
No, it's
to
impossible.
arrange the premises?
It's impossible, Commissioners.
You would have only called him after you called FSL?
Yes.
Okay. And we know that, according to you, you called FSL in the afternoon,
Yes.
and Colonel Kuzwayo also confirms from FSL that she received a call in the afternoon.
Yes.
She does recall that it was from you, but her reason for the call is quite different to yours, and we'll get to that. Now, when you make the call to FSL, you say that you only asked about whether they have storage.
That's correct.
Okay. Were you aware of any request that was made to FSL for your members to be assisted by the FSL members to guide them on how to do sampling, for your members to be guided on how to do sampling by the FSL members?
No, Commissioners. I can't recall that.
You never had a conversation with anyone at FSL about them sending their members to assist your members with sampling?
It wouldn't have been about sampling. You can't do sampling before you enter the exhibit into the 13, because that means you will be destroying the evidence. It has first to go to the 13, and then you take those samples from the 13 to the FSL, not from the crime scene.
Now,